What's going on? This is the marvelous one, the Stockman. Please like, subscribe, and tell everybody about the Stockman channel. Today we're going to educate you on three words that you're going to be hearing a lot about. That's tariffs, that's GDP, and that's recession. Okay? I'm going to give you the definitions of these three words because these are the three words that will determine if the stock market will go up, go down, or stay flat. Okay? And these words you're going to hear a lot about. So let's try to get started here. Okay? I'm so glad that you guys are tuning in because I really enjoy trying to educate the people. I spent over 21,000 hours educating myself over the past 14 years, and I did it all by myself, and I did it all by working uh, uh, 40 to 60 hours on swing shift, right? So, I really put the time in because I really fell in love with learning about the financial system and how it worked because I spent a lot of my time trading my time to make money. So I wanted to understand, okay, if I'm trading my time to make money, I need to learn what I'm going to, what I need to do with the money that I'm trading my time for, and I really needed to get educated on it and not always depend on people to tell me what I need to do with my money. So that's why I believe that education is always the key, right? So here, let's talk about the first word. The first word that I'm going to talk about and give you a definition of is tariff. You're going to hear a lot about tariffs, right? So let's get the definition of tariff. Tariff. A tariff is a imposed tax by one country on goods and services imported from another country. So really it's a tax on the imported goods from another country. Okay? So when you hear the word tariff, they're talking about the tax on the things that the United States are importing or are importing uh, from another country. Okay. The second word you're going to hear a lot about is GDP. Okay. So we're going to take a look and see what GDP is. The definition of GDP is monetary value of all finished goods and services produced within a country during a specific period of time, right? So here in the United States, uh, for us to go into a recession, and that's going to be the next word, but I want to explain this to you before we get to a recession. And what causes a recession is the downturn of the economy, just negative news, layoffs, unemployment going over 5%. Uh, but in the United States, if we have two consecutive quarters of a negative GDP, we are in a recession. So 6 months, 3 months apiece, if we have two consecutive quarters of a negative GDP, we are in a recession. And normally, if we're leaning into a recession like that, that means that unemployment is over 5. Anytime you see the unemployment rate over 5, we are in a recession. Excuse my grandfather clock in the background. It's doing its thing, you know what I'm saying? So, repeat. 2 consecutive months of a negative GDP technically put us into a recession. And once we are into a recession, normally the unemployment rate is over 5%. So and we may be heading in that direction. Okay. So the third word I want to talk to you about, and that you're going to be hearing a lot about, is a recession. A recession. What is a recession? Let's get the definition of a recession, okay? Because I want to educate you. A recession is a prolonged period of negative growth in any country. And since we're talking about our great country, the United States, so just like I just said, a recession is caused by a prolonged period. And for us, that's 2 consecutive quarters. That equals out to 6 months. So in 2 consecutive quarters, which is 6 months, if we have a negative GDP for those 2 quarters, we are in a recession. And I wanted to go over these 3 words because it's very important that we have the education to understand how these 3 words will affect our 401 plans, our IRAs, our brokerage account, our total investments. So that's why it's always key to get educated and to spend your time not only trading your time for money, but spending your time understanding how money works. And that's what I do here at the Stockman channel. Hey, I'm no rich guy, I'm no guy that's saying, look at me, I got millions and millions of dollars. I'm just like you, I'm just like everybody else. But I have a passion to understand, our financial systems. And I put a lot of time in trying to understand it. I'm self-taught, and I try to keep it plain and simple. I don't try to use fancy words and show off my vocabulary, because my vocabulary is not very good. But I am a normal person, a normal guy that's trying to help people, trying to change people's mindsets, trying to get people to understand that in order to grow your money, you have to invest your money, okay? You just can't work for your money, trade time for your money, and put your money in a savings account, because inflation is going to eat that up. If you just leave your money sitting in a regular bank account where they're barely paying you less than a 0.5%, inflation is going to take your money. And my goal is to get people's mindset to change, to get you to start thinking about, okay, no matter how much money I make, I'm going to invest my money, okay? And I'm not one of these guys that say, you should wait to start investing. You should wait till you pay off all your bills, all your credit cards. No, I'm saying you should do all this at one time, because if you're going to keep waiting to pay off your credit cards, some of us are going to be 50 years old, because we're always going to be using the credit cards. And I know people say, hey, don't use the credit cards, stop using the credit cards. Hey, life happens. I'm a real dude, and I get it and I understand. So I always say that you should do it all at one time. You should trade your time for money, get your paycheck. If your company offers a 401 plan, get into that 401 plan. They give you a match. And then once you do that, I always say open up a Roth account, and then put money into that Roth account and start investing into companies. But this all requires education. This all requires a community. Get with a community. Keep watching the Stockman channel and get educated. And I like to say, because, they like to come from people like me who's giving out this information. This is not financial advice. This is all for educational purposes, right? So we're going to clear it up right now, because they always come for the little guys who's trying to educate the masses. And that's what I'm trying to do here with the Stockman channel, right? Hey, I thank you for taking the time to watch the Stockman channel. Please tell everybody about the Stockman channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment. I don't get too many comments. I know people are watching. We're growing the channel. We're up to 319 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 500 and then to 1,000, and then I'm going to take off from there. But I need your help. I need you to tell everybody to tune into the Stockman channel, because I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to make sure that everybody gets this education so you can change your mindset, so you can start growing your money, right? Hey, you know how this goes. I'm the marvelous one, the Stockman. Peace.